to 5. It's Boyzone and Love You Anyway. This is Radio 2. Upcoming one we did earlier with Russell T and Benjamin Cook. Steve Wright in the afternoon on BBC Radio 2. Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook are with us. Hey. Now, Russell T Davies we know all about. He's been in here before, but we don't know too much about Benjamin Cook. So, who are you?
I'm a journalist. I write for Radio Times magazine and Doctor Who magazine, and I've interviewed Russell on a number of occasions. And then I suggested doing this book, which was originally going to be a series of magazine articles, but then turned into effectively a year-long interview.
And because there's intense interest in everything Doctor Who, isn't there?
Yeah.
Since Russell's been doing it, I know you're not doing it anymore, but there's interest in the process, where it's made, why you did this, why you did that. I bet you didn't expect that, did you?
Well, I was just thinking, I think I came in and spoke to you like when we were just launching the very first series, and we were full of excitement and hope that it would work. Who could have thought that it's 4 years later now and it's just still going mental, and which is amazing. Wow. And it's 45 years later now, it's still going.
Why do you think?
Why? That's if I had the answer to that, I'd be a millionaire and would have made my own programmes, but instead of someone else's. But it's just a brilliant idea. It's an idea that can go anywhere and do anything and change every week, and it's British as well. You know, we've got enough Buffys and Supermans and Batmans. It's British folklore now, like Robin Hood and Tarzan and all those things that there's whole generations after generations that pass it on to their children with love and with great affection as well. And I think that's what's helped us work this time, is that everyone's watching.
Remind us how you became involved, because it seems odd that you were doing all this great work on Channel 4 and Queer as Folk and all of these other things. How did you end up making Doctor Who, being part of it?
I was always still a lifelong Doctor Who fan, and actually Queer as Folk, there was one of the main characters was a Doctor Who fan in that, so I was sending out signals to the BBC saying, give me this show. So for all that sort of 9 o'clock stuff that I'd written, it was the show I'd always been dying to bring back, and I never believed they would, to be honest.
How did you persuade them to do it then? Because you'd had this drying ambition for years.
They decided to bring it back anyway. I have to say, much as I'd love to take the credit. In fact, let's rewrite that. No, I did it all. But they realised it was missing from television, and fortunately, every time I'd had a meeting with the BBC, I'd nagged them about it. I'd said, if you ever bring it back, I'd love to do it. So when they made the decision, there I was. Best bit of nagging I ever did.
And did you then think, oh, crikey, I've got Doctor Who in my hands?
Terrifying then, yes. And I did really think about it for a couple of days. And I really wanted to make sure that we had enough money to make it and the slot to make it. First of all, they could have wanted like a late night version on BBC Three, like a send-up of it or something, you know? And I really took a long time to make sure they really, really wanted proper Doctor Who, which they did.
The shows have been as good as movies. Was that your aim?
Well, thank you. Yes, it was, to make it as big and as glossy as it could possibly be, because although we do have a lovely budget, it's never as much as we'd like. And we have the most brilliant producer actually called Phil Collinson, and the whole team around him who literally work till 2 in the morning, stretching that budget and getting favours and making it work. It's the most, everyone says this, but it's absolutely true on Doctor Who. It's the most dedicated team. It's made with love, that programme. I think that's why it works. It's so strong.
You wanted to have stars, didn't you? You wanted Kylie in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a wild guess, Russell, but I suspect you wanted that.
Twist my arm. But not just that, we've got like the Penelope Wilton and Sam McCallow and great actors like that. Kylie's a great actor. It's just, it's become the show that people want to be in now, which we love as well. So
they come to you?
Sometimes.
Please.
Sometimes they do. I could list the ones who've turned us down, but that would be unprofessional of me.
Before we take the break, we'll come back and talk about the book in just a second with Ben and Russell here. I mean, I know there's 2 Christmas specials, am I right?
There's 1 special this Christmas, then next year there's 4 specials.
Okay.
So you can't get rid of me yet.
And then you're out of the picture.
I'm sacked then.
No, you resigned.
All right.
Which is nice. I think it's probably time, isn't it? Let's have a go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So is there any clue that you can give us, or maybe you've heard the word, Ben, who's in the frame to be the next Doctor Who?
I think it's Steve Wright myself.
I think you would make a marvellous Doctor
I would be okay, but I would be too old and I can't remember all the lines.
William Hartnell, he wasn't young.
No, but I'd turn up and I wouldn't know the lines, and you'd go, what the hell?
No, we take Steve Wright improvise. It'd be marvellous, darling. On you go.
No, but would it be somebody like a Russell Brand type or an older guy?
I mean, I think the most remarkable thing about the part is you could cast anyone. It's that you could go for someone as mad as Russell Brand. You could go for a woman if you wanted to. I think that would be very exciting thing. You've got to keep reinventing the show. The show's all... I know a lot of people think, oh, how can it survive the David leaves if he ever leaves? But I felt like that as a kid when I was watching John Pertwee. I was there crying, oh, it'll never be the same again. Along came Tom Baker. The show just keeps on regenerating.
And Tom Baker himself said that the part is actor-proof. I'm not sure that's entirely true, but the point that he's making, that it can be interpreted in so many different ways. You could go younger, you could go older, as Russell says. Female Doctor, be great.
We're going to come right back with Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook. Don't go away. You're on Team Right Afternoon. We'll be right back. Don't go away. It's 5:15. Heard that theme there, and that Doctor Who theme signifies that we have Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook with us. Welcome back. I've heard that theme all my life. It's like Coronation Street theme. It's something that makes you comfortable.
Beautiful piece of music.
Don't you think?
It's funny because, Ben, you're younger. It's like, does it mean as much to you? Because Doctor Who was off air by the time you were growing up.
I disagree.